Hello guys, Jose Rodriguez here. In this video, I'll show you how can you install Jupyter Lab, okay, on a Windows 11 instance. So we can use the web interface, the web-based interactive development environment for notebooks, okay. Um, if you will need to open a browser and go to jupyter.org, and then if you scroll down a little bit, you will have the link that shows all the steps that you need to follow to install Jupyter Lab. Okay, so let's click here, and there are different ways you can install Jupyter Lab. So I'm gonna use pip, okay, to install Jupyter Lab. Okay, so let me copy this command. Let's copy this. Let's open a command prompt. Now I'll run this as an administrator. Okay, let me increase the size of this for you. Oh, I guess I'll need to make a right click, go to properties, font, one more. Okay, and then we just paste the command here. It's gonna be pip install Jupyter Lab. Then we hit enter. So it's collecting everything. Okay, we got an error. So apparently there is a package that is not installed. Okay, and I was looking for some information about this error, and apparently it's because I'm using the latest version of Python. So there may be some issues with this new release. So what I'm gonna do is I will install not the latest version of Python. Okay, so let me show you how can we uninstall Python. But first, let me show you the current version. So I'm doing Python. Oops. So right now I'm using Python 3.13. Okay, and as you know, that's the latest version of Python. Okay, the latest release. So apparently there are some issues when trying to install Jupyter Lab with this version. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is open the control panel application. Okay, you can just type control panel, open. We are going to programs, uninstall a program. So here is Python 3.13. Okay, so I'm going to uninstall these two options here. Okay, uninstall. Yes. Password. Also this one. Password. Now what this is, okay, well, Python is being uninstalled from my computer. What I want to do now is double check, the device specifications for my computer. So it's an Intel chip, 64 bits operating system. Okay, so we can go to the Python website, python.org downloads Windows, and let's download version 3.12. Okay, so let's see, we need the 64 bits installer. So let's download this. Okay, so we successfully uninstalled Python 3.13. So let's close this and let's access the downloads folder, and we are going to run Python 3. The installer for Python 3.12. Okay, so let's double click on it, and we are going to use admin privileges, and we are going to add the Python executable to the path environment variable, and I don't want this, I don't want Python just for this user. So I'm going to customize the installation, select all the options here. Okay, then click on next, and then we are going to install Python for all users in the device. Okay, and that's it. Click on install. It will ask us to insert the password for the admin user. Okay, so hopefully after we install Python 3.12, we should be able to install Jupyter Lab. Okay. I like to use Jupyter notebooks when working with Python. Um, it's easier for me to tell the story, you know. Um, I can add not only code but also comments using markdown format. Okay. In our next video, I'll show you how can you start using Jupyter notebooks. Okay. Okay, the setup was successful. Remember that if you get a message about the length or the length limit for the path environment variable, don't forget to disable that. Okay, so you can keep adding more applications to this environment variable. Okay, so let's click close. Now let's go again to, let me close this, exit. Okay, clear the screen. So let's run Python again. Oh, I think I need to close and open this again. Okay, run as administrator. Okay, so let's run Python again. And as you can see, now we are working with Python 3.12. Okay, so let's exit this. And now we are going to install, we will try to install Jupyter Lab again. Okay, so let's hit enter. So hopefully we don't get the same error as before. Fingers crossed. Boom. Okay, it looks like it is working. Okay, that's sometimes that's the one of the issues when you try to use the latest version of an application. In this case, Python 3.13. It was released a few days ago, and apparently it was not. I mean, it was showing us some issues to install. We were getting some issues when trying to install Jupyter Lab. Okay, so that's why we decided to use the previous version, which is 3.12. Okay, perfect. It looks like it was installed. So now what we can do is just to validate the installation, we can do, let's go to the website. So to launch Jupyter Lab, we can just run Jupyter space lab. Okay, so let's go here. Let me clear the screen for you, CLS, and let's run Jupyter space lab. So these commands should start a Jupyter server for you that you can access through the through a web server. Okay. So I have to open this HTML file. So it should be Microsoft Edge. That's a web browser. Always. Okay. So as you can see, this is the server, and it's using port 8888. Okay. So you can either just click on the option to open the browser. Oh, it looks like it's not working. Well, what you can do is just open a new tab. Okay, go to the command prompt window, and it says that you can, to access the server, you can open this file. That's what we were trying to open. But if that is not working, you can use any of these two URLs. Okay, so let's copy this. Let's select this and then hit enter to copy. Let's go to the tab, Control V, enter, and that's it. It's loading our Jupyter server. Yay. Okay. Awesome. So that's how you can install Jupyter Lab on your Windows 11 device. Okay, as you can see, you can create Jupyter notebooks that using the Python kernel. What else? You can also open other type of files like Markdown files, text files, or even terminals. Okay, so I'll record another video to show you how can you start working with Jupyter notebooks. Okay. Oh, something that I forget about this is that, as you can see, there are a lot of folders. Okay, and the reason why we are getting this is because I ran the command, okay, Jupyter Lab, under the Windows System 32 directory. Okay, so it's showing me all the content for that directory. So if you want to you can open Jupyter Lab in a different directory. Okay, so let me show you how. Let's do Control C. How can I, if I do Control C, it's not working. Okay, yeah, I was pressing Control C. It's either Control C or Control X, so we can shut the Jupyter server down. Okay, we will just run it again. So what we can do is, for example, I can change my directory, because right now I'm using the Pedro.Gustavo user. Okay, so what I can do is change my directory to C users Pedro Gustavo. Okay, let's go to the desktop. Okay, and we can create a folder here. Let's say mkdir Jupyter project. Okay, so if you run dir, you can see we have a new folder here. Okay, and if you go to your desktop, here's the folder that we just created. Okay, so here, for example, you can start creating files. For example, let's open this folder, and you can just create a new, for example, text document. Okay, so this is a test file for Jupyter. Oop. Use an O instead of a P. Okay, and now what we can do is, if you run, okay, Jupyter Space Lab on the desktop, you will see all these files, or you can go inside Jupyter project, okay, and run Jupyter Lab there. Okay, so it's gonna be Jupyter Space Lab. Let's try to open the file again. Yeah, it's not working. So let's copy this. Hit enter to copy. Let's go to the web browser. And there it is. So now it's just showing you whatever file you have inside that folder. Okay? So that's nice. And then in the next video, I'll show you how can you start creating a Jupyter notebook using the Python kernel. Okay? Thank you.